Hello, everyone. Ex-Wallkill Bethelite here. And another reason why Jehovah's Witnesses cannot be the one true religion is their unethical use of minors in distributing Watchtower publications. The unethical use of minors. This is something that you don't see anyone else doing. And it's very interesting that oftentimes these minors are out going door to door trying to give people Watchtower publications on a Saturday morning, no doubt, where most kids want to be at home relaxing because they don't have school and just watching a few cartoons. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with a child after a long week of school and probably chores at home being able on a Saturday to just be a kid? Why can't a kid just be a kid? Why can't kids just sit and watch some Saturday morning cartoons and relax and recharge and get themselves ready for school the next week? Well, not Jehovah's Witness children. Jehovah's Witness children have school all week. They've got, I'm sure, most chores that they have to do as well. And in addition to all of that, they have to use their Saturdays and days during the week and sometimes Sundays. People don't realize sometimes that this is not limited to Watchtower using minors just on a Saturday. Watchtower will use minors all through the week. You have minors filling out these slips that report to Watchtower how many hours they've spent preaching, how many publications that you've given out. And having to report this monthly to Watchtower. This is unethical. It is unethical for Watchtower to have allowed this to go on for about 100 years or more. This isn't something that they can say, oh, we weren't aware of. This has been a huge practice amongst Jehovah's Witnesses for so long that they cannot deny. Me personally, a lot of people can give their personal experiences. Comment down below if you would like to give your personal experience of you just wanting to be a kid and do kid things. And okay, you don't get a birthday. You don't get no birthday as a child if you're a Jehovah's Witness. You don't get no birthday. Okay. All right. Well, as a child, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you don't get no Christmas. You don't get no Christmas. Okay. All right. So children that are Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't get no birthday. They don't get no Christmas. When all the other kids are having cake and ice cream, why not just be able to have a day where you can have fun? No, all the Jehovah's Witnesses in the classroom have got to go to the library or go somewhere else. Y'all don't get none. Okay. You think that would be bad enough, but okay. All right. We'll accept that. That's kind of mean, but we'll accept that. Jehovah, those same minors out on Saturdays trying to give out Watchtower publications from door to door, or standing next to carts for people to come up and get Watchtower publications and get donation money to then hand over to Watchtower. That's too much. That's unethical. You're not the true religion. Stop it. Stop it. You could not imagine Jesus requiring children to have field service reports, to be out in the freezing cold, because when it is freezing cold for adults, when it's too cold for adults out knocking on doors. I remember as a kid being out in the cold, and your hand already feels like it's about to go numb and fall off. Well, when you have to knock on those doors that have the metal bars and those freezing cold knuckles hit that door, man, that hurts. And I experienced that as a kid. Watchtower puts these long hour requirements on people, calling it pioneering and things of that sort. Well, guess who else is going to be out in the cold, in the car, going from door to door, standing next to carts, spending all their time trying to distribute Watchtower and Awake magazines and Watchtower publications? Are kids. They're kids. And it's not a choice. You can't say, Mom, Dad, can I watch cartoons at least once? You know what I mean? I never get to see Saturday morning cartoons. All the other kids get ice cream and cake during birthdays. All the other kids get to participate in the school Christmas activities. All the other kids get to watch cartoons on a Saturday. Can you just have one Saturday where you watch cartoons for Jehovah's Witness kids? Oftentimes, no. You don't get to watch cartoons at all on a Saturday when there's cartoons for kids. That's what's so crazy about the whole thing, is that the whole TV network is aware that most kids will be up on a Saturday and they'd want to watch cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons. No, you don't get to watch Saturday morning cartoons. And then Sunday, you have to go to, like a lot of people go to church. Jehovah's Witnesses have to go to Kingdom Hall. They call it something different. Their use of minors is deplorable. It is deplorable to use minors that already have to go to school and do chores at home to distribute Watchtower magazines throughout the week. And then Saturday, minors have to sacrifice their Saturday morning cartoons, where the entire television industry figured, well, kids would love to watch cartoons on a Saturday. That's the one day they should be able to have to watch cartoons at least. And they put all the best cartoons on Saturday. They don't get to do that. And then on Sunday, they have to be up going to their meeting or their church. And not only that, but those kids have got to participate. Meaning, if the person on the platform asks a question, those kids have to raise their hand and answer some of those questions. For me, I remember getting in trouble after a book study because I didn't raise my hand during the meeting. I was a kid. I was just being a kid. I already didn't get to watch no cartoons. I already didn't get to participate in after school activities. I already didn't get no birthdays, didn't get no Christmas. I remember just playing with my toys up until it was time to go to the meeting. And I'm just thinking about little kids' things during the book study. Thinking about playing with my toys after the book study. And then guess what happens? I don't answer none of the comments. You know, I'm a little kid. By the time I'm figuring out what I want to say to answer one of the questions in the book that they were studying for a particular paragraph, we were already to the next paragraph. And that continued until the end of the meeting. And guess what? I got in trouble after that meeting. Yes, this is forced on minors. Religious activities that should be for adults are forced on minors. I will be 100% honest when I say there was a Saturday, probably multiple Saturdays, where I pretended to be sick so that I could watch cartoons. It should be looked down upon amongst the entire religious community that Jehovah's Witness kids are trying to pretend that they're sick and having to come up with stories to give their parents to get out of distributing Watchtower publications on a Saturday morning just to watch a cartoon. I remember my stepdad coming upstairs and I'm in bed telling him I'm sick. And I literally forced myself to get sick, to vomit on the floor, just to be able to I just wanted to stay in bed. You know what I mean? I don't want to go to work today. I wanted to stay, and I'm a minor. I'm a kid. I'm like 8 years old, forcing myself to vomit so I don't have to go door to door, spend my whole Saturday knocking on doors. And how long do kids have to be out? However long the parents say. It's not 1 hour necessarily. It could be. It's not 2 hours necessarily. It could be. It could be more. There are Jehovah's Witnesses that spend the entire day, for the most part, the entire day where there's daylight, out knocking on doors and whatnot because they have to put the time down on the slip and report this to Watchtower. Well, guess where the kids are? Right there with them. I remember playing in the back of the van with my sister, and, you know, we're laughing and joking and things like that. And we're just trying to be kids while we're being toted around town distributing magazines. I remember knocking on doors and people coming to the door and their eyes have not dropped down to me yet. Their eyes are looking at my parents. This guy, I remember this guy vividly. His eyes dropped down to me and he's like, "What are y'all doing?" And I hand him the tract and I give my presentation, whatnot. Little kid been having to give a presentation. And he's looking at me and he's like, and then he looks at the parents like, "What are y'all doing?" Like, there's people out there with sense that will see this and say, this is wrong. If you're an adult and you choose to distribute Watchtower publications, that's fine. That's on you. But you shouldn't force your kids to do it. And think about the gruesome reason why the kids are doing it is because the kids are taught, just like the adults, that any day now, God is going to start a literal physical war between God and every country on earth, and God and angels are going to come through and kill everybody that's not a Jehovah's Witness. So you need to get these people these magazines. That's the understanding that a child is going to have. If y'all aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, y'all are all going to die. I have to do this because if I don't do it, A, you're going to die, and B, I'm going to die because I didn't warn you guys that you were going to die. That's a kid's thinking. Watchtower pushes the same doom and gloom on children as they do adults. The whole doomsday concept that any day now everybody but Jehovah's Witnesses are going to die for the most part is pushed on kids also. Nobody in the religious community, I don't know anybody that would do something that terrible to kids but Jehovah's Witnesses, because Watchtower told them to. Jehovah's Witnesses are, I'm telling you, when you talk about people who will do anything told to them, when you're talking about people who will believe anything told to them by Watchtower, that is Jehovah's Witnesses, that is a cult. There's no way. There's no way. Jesus is got his hand out, and there's a line of children, and what's your field service report? Give me your hours that you spent. How many magazines you give out? Hand me the report. Hand me the report. And it's not just the elements that they have the kids out in, the cold and the heat. And y'all don't get to watch no cartoons on Saturdays, no birthdays, no Christmas, no nothing. It's not just that. It's the shunning. Kids are involved in the shunning. When a family is shunning another family member because Watchtower told them to, that child has to do it. That child has got to shun their older brother or older sister or their cousin that they were used to playing with. Their grandparents whose house they would have to go over. Yes, Jehovah's Witnesses involve children, minors, in shunning. That is deplorable. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are the lowest of the low when it comes to someone who claims to be Christian and involves children in publication distribution and in shunning. And when we were out in the hood knocking on doors, guess where the kids were? In the hood, in dangerous areas. I'm talking about, poor areas, dangerous areas, who knows what might happen. Guess where the kids were? In the hood. When people were going inside crazy people's homes, because we would go anywhere that someone would open a door, including somebody who's clinically not all there, guess where the kids were? In the person's house with them. Yes, Watchtower puts children's lives at risk. There is a risk when you're going knocking on everybody's door in the hood. There is a risk. There is a such thing as risk. When I've been bitten by a dog when I was a kid. When those dogs that you didn't realize was there come running around the corner, ready to tear your head off because you're not supposed to be on this person's property, guess who's there too? Kids. Watchtower puts the lives of little kids at risk, where you could get attacked by a dog. Y'all are pathetic. Jehovah's Witnesses, y'all are pathetic to have allowed this. Because the parent could say, no, I'm going to have someone at home to watch my child. Because children are not in a position to teach adults anything. Yes, Jesus may have used them in a, example as far as being childlike or being like children. But you didn't see Jesus and a little kid out preaching. You don't see Jesus telling little kids to do that. You don't you don't see that in the Bible. Children have, you got somebody that's only been alive 8 years. How are they supposed to go to somebody's door and teach them and tell them they need to take this or that publication? Children aren't even in a position to be out teaching people the Bible anyway. Children aren't in a position to be telling an adult that they need to read this publication or read that publication anyway. They don't have the life experience to be able to do that. So they shouldn't be out anyway. A little kid is not in a position to be teaching adults or distributing publications to adults that adults should or should not read. That kid can't tell an adult anything because they're not old enough yet. The kids should be home. The little kids should be home, or at the very least, there should be a maximum amount of time you can have a kid out. They don't even have that. Watchtower is pathetic. Y'all are the worst group of people there are. And you use your religion as an excuse to do that to little kids. I'm telling you, I'm okay with, you don't let your kid have no Christmas. They ain't getting no birthday. They ain't getting none of the celebrations that other people get. Okay, all right. We'll let that ride. But when you tell your kid you can't even watch a cartoon on a Saturday, y'all are pushing it too far on these little kids. And you got to be out in below zero weather when it's winter outside, when it's super hot in certain areas, and these dangerous neighborhoods that Jehovah's Witnesses go to, they bring the kids along. They got a human shield if something happens. Little children. Y'all are pathetic. And then when the church decides, or the congregation decides to disfellowship somebody, I say church to make sure everybody understands. When they decide that they're going to shun somebody, guess who can't talk to them? Little kids got to understand that God is going to destroy that person. You can't talk to them. Y'all are pathetic when it comes to children. The 2-witness rule, on top of everything else I have mentioned, the 2-witness rule, where if a child is molested by one of these Jehovah's Witnesses that they have to go door to door with, that it's like a job. You have to have minors there, so you're going to have pedophiles. Pedophiles are going to be where children are forced to work. They know there's going to be kids there. So when that kid unfortunately gets victimized by this child predator, this terrible person, guess what they have to have? It's almost like Watchtower is aware that kids are going to get molested because we're forcing them to go out working basically for free, for donations, but we're forcing them out into this distribution force. So yeah, they're going to get victimized. So we need to have a 2-witness rule to make sure 2 people have got to see the kid get touched before we're going to do anything. And yeah, if you want to just blame the parents for not telling the authorities, go ahead and do that. Because yes, the parents are pathetic for listening to Watchtower, having their kids out to begin with. Their kid gets molested, listening to Watchtower and letting the elders handle the whole thing instead of going to the authorities. Yes, blame the parents. Blame Watchtower for trying to say they're the true religion and doing this stupid, deplorable stuff to kids. But yes, blame the parents. Because these parents are pathetic, let alone Christians. They shouldn't be able to have the same title as Christian as everybody else. There should be an asterisk beside it or something. You guys can't do this to kids and call yourself Christians like everybody else. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. 937-789-4029. There should be something done about the way that Jehovah's Witnesses treat children, minors. There should definitely be something done about Jehovah's Witnesses Watchtower telling Jehovah's Witnesses, and the parents doing it, having their kids be involved with the magazine and publication distribution workforce where there's going to be possible pedophiles and any and everything else. Those kids should be protected at home, not out distributing magazines, and some of them aren't getting touched because of these, because there's no There's no process where you're going to do a background check before you're going to have a kid in a car with someone who's not in their family out distributing magazines. They don't do a background check. They'll put the kid in the car with anybody. They should be with parents, but that kid will be in the car with anybody. This is ridiculous. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.